Just the back and forth momentum. Oh, and there's a big rock. Here comes Romero with a pull counter.
There you go. We have it, champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Here now. I'm grabbing a clip from my stream in where I used Steven Erceg because I'd already showcased him pretty well. This was my first time using Steven Erceg, and he's set up to fight against Alexander Pantoja over at UFC 301. So I figured, my man, this clip is good enough. I might as well just let this play out and let myself commentate over it. But Steven Erceg was super clean when I was using him on UFC 5. He's a solid 4-star fighter. Part of me almost doesn't want him to win so he could stay as a 4-star fighter that I can use because, as you guys know, on ranked championships, when I use this account, I am only using 4-star fighters. And he's a very clean one. And I'd say that his size in the weight class, not that he's massive muscular-wise, but it's more so his height. He uses his strengths well, understands where the end of his range is. And for somebody like Alexander Pantoja, who has a tendency of lunging in, relying on that ridiculous shin that he has. But it's an interesting matchup. Steven Erceg is ranked 10. He's number 10, getting that title shot off of the strength of his victory over Matt Schnell. That wonderful KO that he ended up getting in round 2. It was a beautiful left hook. Now, I don't know if he'll be able to knock out Alexander Pantoja. If that happens, believe me, I'll be surprised. But I will say, after watching a bit of footage, he's shown some pretty good scrambling ability. He's also a jiu-jitsu black belt. But we've seen the likes of Alexander Pantoja work extremely well against other black belts in jiu-jitsu. And it wouldn't surprise me if Pantoja went out and submitted him. But being that Steven Erceg plays at range so well, like extremely well, I find that there's going to be a lot of scrambles in this bout, and the flyweight division is full of exceptional talent. Another thing I will say is that with Steven Erceg, I do love his usage of kicks. Depending on how his opponent kind of tries to fade away from his hands, because his boxing is one of his best attributes, but he kicks extremely well. I do recall the first time I watched Steven Erceg fight, I think it may have been his debut, and he upset, I forgot who he upset. I'm going to probably remember, but I remember it was somebody who's a pretty decent favorite over him. And I think he ended up submitting him, or he ended up beating him by decision. No. I think it was a dude named David Drovak. He was at UFC 289, I think, and that was like around last year. And Drovak was ranked about top 10 or top 15 or so. He beat him. Then he defeated Alessandro Costa. That was a really good fight. I remember that one because that was at UFC 295. And then the Matt Schnell win. So 3-0 in the UFC. If he becomes 4-0, beating Pantoja, man, that's gonna be a hell of a way to kick off your flyweight career. There's also a lot of jokes being made with him being a part of Office. Like, he looks like the homeboy from The Office. I'll try to get ourselves a takedown. They would do so. Oh my lord, that took an absurd amount. I remember I was saying on stream, man, that took an absurd amount of short-term stamina. As somebody that grapples, if you have high-level wrestling stats and wrestling takedowns, like those type of actions, they're supposed to help you make your opponent overreact so you can set up your next takedown. So yeah, it's a little bit of something that bothers me there. But smooth boxing from us in round 1. There's a nice little knee to the body. Look at that. Lunge right out of the way of that counter. Nice little 4-piece action too. And this Figueiredo, I remember this Figueiredo was super, super aggressive. Super aggressive. That's round 2. So we're going back to trying to work the lead body hook. There we open up a cut because one of our shots land. And Erceg, I think the best part about him was his movement. His movement, his idle. The back steps are pretty clean with him. Look at that body hook animation. Head kick lands for us. Their opportunity to block counter. Look at the boxing. Now, obviously, I know I'm playing in game, but there is a potential chance that this fight might be closer than most people. They don't give a fighter like this stats like this for no reason. And watching the film on him, I'm thinking like, yo, there's a good chance that he may be able to do the damn thing. Huh. It's weird that landed. Backstep counter lands for us. Notice I'm timing that. I'm liking doing the backsteps a lot more than trying to use head movement at times because the backsteps take you back one range. So if you're at kick range, it'll take you into step kick range. If you're in elbow range, it'll take you back into punch range. So that's when you don't want to use it. But they're really nifty tools. Okay, I remember this. Figueiredo says getting super aggressive with the grappling, and I only want to grapple my term. Steven Erceg does have level 3 guillotines and a level 3 naked choke. I was talking crazy on stream too. I was like, "Damn, that boy is smooth." Caught that kick. Your hook. Shoots again. Yeah, he's not setting up these takedowns well. That's gonna hurt his stamina. If I recall correctly, a lot of those getting denied in a row with no setup. It's gonna tax his stamina despite how good his takedown stat is. That was weird. Clinch stats. Look at his head health too. The lower that your head health is when you try to initiate the clinch, the harder it is for you to try to hold on to somebody. It's easier to get hits done out of the position. We take a step back. We try to rely on our footwork. That's twice now it's kind of happened where it's kind of faded out. Figueiredo's kind of choosing. I notice that he's sidestepped there. He's pushing. Goes for a rear hook. He's pushing again. I'm going to clinch him, slow him down. Got a nice little foot sweep. Nail him with an elbow, which he does. Steven Erceg does have a pretty good elbow. Ooh, nice head kick. He has a pretty good elbow. I was surprised when I saw that his elbow was at level 2. I thought it should be at least at a 3. Of course, it means all for nothing if he like tries to throw an elbow against Pantoja and gets cooked or something. Maybe that'll play a factor in their fight. That was a nice one. Look at that. Inside slip. Try to land a front kick. Nice little leg kick. Another leg kick too. Every single time somebody's stepping forward hard like that, that should be some type of interruption on their leg. I don't care. At least if you have like level 3 kicks or higher. It's got to replicate that. But this was a 3-round fight. We were pretty much were clearly up on the scorecards. And what I'll do is, after I finish commentating this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the fights to finish out. And I'll do my post-fight thoughts on depending how it goes. If Erceg gets cooked, it is what it is. I know Mateus Nicolau lost to Alex Perez. He was main eventing after he just got added to the game and ended up taking a mean L, getting knocked out. So it's going to suck if I'm hyping up Steven Erceg like this and then he doesn't go out and do the damn thing. Or at least make it look competitive. So, but that's why we do it. That's why we talk. That's why we discuss what we believe in. Back lunge action. Pull counter hook lands. Lead hook counter. Try to throw another one of those elbows. Yo, we were untouched with the head health. Slip hook. Ducks once more. I notice every single time he gets rocked, stamina starts to go down a little bit more. Still, Figueiredo's power. It doesn't. This is like that range of stamina where people tend to get a little bit confused. They're like, oh, I can start swinging on him. Figueiredo has 98 power. I have 93 with Erceg. So I still had to be extremely careful because one bad moment against Figueiredo could have led to my demise. He's ducking every single time against a second strike. I forget when I make the adjustment. But we start to opt to attack the body instead. Go for the 1, 2, 3. Lead elbow counter. Try to go for another elbow counter because I see that he's slipping a lot. He's pushing. Push me again. We'll push him right back. He's throwing a cheeky elbow himself. Notice how we angled off. Backstep counter once more. Another knockdown. And if I recall correctly on stream, I was just talking crazy. And I ended up getting rocked here after I was talking wild. Tries to go for a takedown and ends up killing his own stamina here. Because he was trying to do it with extremely low short-term stamina. Goes for the forward slip hook because that's what every single bum likes to do. Goes for it once more. I'm just kind of backing up in cruise control. Body uppercut redirect, hits his head as he ducks. Body stun. Another drop. I'm like, nah, bro. We can do it right here. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a chance to knock me out. And of course, I think as I was saying that, legitimately almost has the opportunity to knock me out there because of that goddamn power from Figueiredo. Try to go for the elbow counter. No, the backside doesn't work there because I'm a little bit too close. Tries to slip counter and gets nailed by the rear hook by Mr. Steven Erceg. So, commentary, this was too good of a fight to not commentate over. Like the original stream footage, I wasn't in full-on analyst mode, so I figured let me just use this as a means to showcase Steve Erceg. So we're going to go and head on online and record our reaction. Well, we're going to have to wait a bit. It's a couple hours before this happens, so we'll wait until after the fight, and either we'll try to record right after the fight ends up happening or the day after. So we'll figure it out from there, but we'll be right back. Alrighty, so that bout was pretty exciting, was that not? That was a very quality matchup. High-level work from both of the flyweights. Ultimately, Pantoja is able to successfully defend the flyweight belt against Steven Erceg. And Erceg, after what was looking like a dicey round 1, he comes back in round 2, shows a bit of life. Now, I had the fight 2-2 heading into the 5th, and then Erceg made a decision to try to go for a takedown, which he had taken down Pantoja before. Wasn't able to hold him down, but I understood where he was kind of getting at. But it wasn't the right decision, and ultimately it's what costed him the bout. But it's not something he should have much shame about. I mean, he's 3 fights into the UFC, and you gave Pantoja a better fight than a lot of people have. Now, Pantoja's now like 0-7. Not 0-7. The division is now 0-7 with his top 5 against Pantoja, which is absolutely insane. Nice check. This guy's making me want to have to box, huh? Man, you making me trying to box. Ooh, okay. Okay, he's checked 2 of those kicks now. So we're going to have to abandon the kicks with our Erceg and stick to mainly boxing. Figueiredo hits like a goddamn truck. And for Steven Erceg, we can see him fighting for a title relatively soon. I'm surprised that landed. Because the flyweight division is known for its abundance of rematches. And with the way that he looked against Pantoja, it's going to take only a couple good performances. I mean, Muhammad Mokaev probably should get the shot. If not him, Amir Abalzi. Mokaev kind of, does himself a disservice. Being that he doesn't win the fights the way that that's a little bit more fan-friendly to speak of. This guy's fighting like a mook. Get your slip hooking ass up. Get your slip hooking ass the fuck out of here. This is, I'll discuss it with the devs later. This is not what this is about. It's about congratulating Steven Erceg for putting on a fantastic main event against Alexander Pantoja, who seemed like a goddamn Terminator for quite some time in the division. Slip fucking bum. And Erceg showed out. He showed out really well. Looked very crisp with his boxing. Super crisp with his boxing. Had some great scrambles on the ground. He already has level 5 wrestling transitions in flyweight, but definitely should be looking to get some BJJ transitions up because they're sitting at level 2. And I'm definitely interested to see how everything's going to play out in flyweight. Amir Albazi, he has some power behind him. He has a nice rear uppercut that works pretty well on top of his jab, and he grapples well enough takedown-wise, but he's going to have to be careful with the jiu-jitsu of Pantoja. Makayev might be a better match on paper because Pantoja's going to make things work. Make him respect the jiu-jitsu a little bit more. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to just focus on landing the lead hook. I'm going to focus on backstepping a little bit. Because this guy just wants me to kind of take turns with him, and it's my fault for doing so. There it is. Just had to deviate from the tempo. Just going to force that pull. We're going to hang back. Oh. Interesting choice. Another knockdown for us. See if we can put that elbow to use, which is definitely going to need a block. How the fuck did that land? I love fighters that have that being able to double up with the lead hook like that, going to the body and up top to the head. Very, very good underrated combo. Oh! Hold on. Doctor stoppage. Doctor stoppage. Gets cut up. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, we saw Doctor stoppage happen between him and Brandon Moreno. I get that. I already dropped this guy like twice. Stunned him like 4 times. I guess it's good enough. But Steven Erceg, quality 4-star pick in UFC 5. And definitely showed that he belonged in the upper echelon of the flyweight division in the UFC. So, not too shabby. Not too shabby. We're 17. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Take care and have a wonderful day.